America 16. Memorial Psalm of David. Preserve me, O God, for I trust in thee. Thou, my soul, hast said to Jehovah, Thou art Lord. My good is not aside from thee. As for the saints who are in the earth, they are the excellent, in whom is all my delight. Their sorrows shall be multiplied that exchange for another. I will not pour out their drink offerings of blood, and I will not take their names upon my lips. Jehovah is the portion of my heritage and of my cup. Thou wilt maintain my lot. The lines have fallen to me in pleasant places. Yea, I have a goodly heritage. I will bless Jehovah who has counseled me. Also by night my reins admonish me. I have set Jehovah always before me. Because he is on my right hand, I shall not be moved. Therefore my heart is glad, and my glory exults. Also my flesh shall rest in hope. For thou wilt not abandon my soul to the underworld. Thou wilt not suffer thy Holy One to see corruption. Thou wilt show me the path of life, fullness of joys in thy presence, pleasures at thy right hand forevermore. Psalm 17, a prayer of David. Hear, O Jehovah, the right. Be attentive to my cry. Give ear to my prayer, from lips not deceitful. Let my sentence come forth from thy presence. Let thine eyes behold the things that are equal. Thou hast tried my heart, hast visited by night, hast assayed me. Thou findest nothing. I have purposed, my mouth shall not transgress. As to the deeds of man, by the word of thy lips I have kept myself from the paths of the violent. My steps have held fast to thy ways, my feet have not wavered. I have called upon thee, for thou wilt answer me, O God. Incline thine ear to me, hear my speech. Show thy marvelous kindness, that thou savest the trusting from such as rise up against them with thy right hand. Keep me as the apple of the eye. In the shadow of thy wings thou wilt hide me. From the wicked that oppress me, my deadly enemies that encompass me round. They are enclosed in their own fat. With their mouth they speak proudly. At our footsteps they have now encompassed us. They have set their eyes to bow us down to the earth. He is like a lion that is greedy for prey, and as a young lion lurking in secret places. Arise, O Jehovah, confront him, make him crouch down. Deliver my soul from the wicked, thy sword from men, thy hand, Jehovah. From men of the world, whose portion is in life, and with thy horde thou wilt fill their belly. They shall be surfeited with sons, and leave their excess to their children. As for me, in righteousness shall I behold thy face, shall be satisfied when I awake with thy likeness. Psalm 18. To the chief musician, by the servant of Jehovah, by David, who spoke to Jehovah the words of this song in the day when Jehovah had delivered him from the hand of all his enemies, and from the hand of Saul. And he said, I will love thee, Jehovah, my strength. Jehovah is my rock and my fortress, and my deliverer, my God, my rock. I will trust in him. My shield, my horn of salvation, my high tower. Praised will I call Jehovah, and from my enemies shall I be saved. The bands of death encompassed me, and floods of the ungodly made me afraid. The bands of the underworld surrounded me. The snares of death confronted me. In my distress I called upon Jehovah, and unto my God I cried. From his temple he heard my voice, and my cry came before him into his ears. Then the earth shook and quaked, and the foundations of the mountains trembled, and were shaken, because he was wroth. There went up smoke in his nostril, and fire out of his mouth devoured. Coals were kindled from it. And he bowed the heavens and came down, and thick darkness was under his feet. And he rode upon a cherub and did fly, and soared along on wings of the wind. He made darkness his covering, his pavilion round about him. Dark waters, thick clouds of the skies. From the brightness before him his thick clouds passed away. Hail and coals of fire! And Jehovah thundered in the heavens, and the Most High uttered his voice. Hail and coals of fire! And he sent out his arrows and scattered them, and shot forth lightnings and discomfited them. And the channels of water were seen, and the foundations of the world were made bare at thy rebuke, O Jehovah, at the blast of the breath of thy nostrils. He sent from on high, he took me, he drew me out of many waters. He delivered me from my strong enemy, and from them that hated me, for they were too strong for me. They confronted me in the day of my calamity, and Jehovah became a stay for me, and brought me forth to a large place, and delivered me because he delighted in me. Jehovah requited me according to my righteousness. According to the cleanness of my hands he recompensed me. For I have kept the ways of Jehovah, and have not wickedly departed from my God. For all his judgments were before me, and his statutes I put not away from me. And I was upright with him, and kept myself from my iniquity. And Jehovah recompensed me according to my righteousness, according to the cleanness of my hands before his eyes. With the gracious thou wilt show thyself gracious. With an upright man thou wilt show thyself upright. With the pure thou wilt show thyself pure, and with the froward thou wilt show thyself froward. For thou wilt save an afflicted people, and lofty eyes thou wilt bring low. For thou wilt light my lamp. Jehovah my God will enlighten my darkness. For by thee I shall run through a troop, and by my God I shall leap over a wall. As for God, his way is perfect. The word of Jehovah is tried. A shield is he to all that trust in him. For who is God besides Jehovah? And who is a rock save our God? The mighty that girds me with strength, and has made my way perfect, making my feet like hinds, and on my high places he makes me stand. Teaching my hands to war, and a bow of brass is bent by my arms. And thou gavest me the shield of thy salvation. And thy right hand will hold me up, and thy condescension will make me great. Thou wilt enlarge my steps under me, and my ankles waver not. I shall pursue my enemies and overtake them, and shall not turn again till they are consumed. I shall smite them, and they will not be able to rise. They will fall beneath my feet. For thou hast girded me with strength for the battle. Thou wilt make them crouch under me that rise up against me. And thou hast given me the neck of my enemies, and those that hate me, I will destroy them. They will cry, and there is no deliverer, to Jehovah, and he answers them not. And I shall beat them small as dust before the wind. As mire of the streets I will pour them out. Thou wilt deliver me from the strifes of the people. Thou wilt make me the head of the heathen. A people I have not known shall serve me. At the hearing of the ear they will obey me. Strangers will profess submission to me. Strangers will fade away, and will tremble from their strongholds. Jehovah lives, and blessed be my rock, and let the God of my salvation be exalted. The mighty who avenges me, and has subdued peoples under me, delivering me from my enemies. Yea, thou wilt lift me above those that rise up against me. From the man of violence thou wilt rescue me. Therefore I will praise thee, Jehovah, among the heathen, and to thy name will I sing. Great deliverances he gives to his king, and shows kindness to his anointed, to David and to his seed forevermore. Psalm 19. To the chief musician, a psalm of David. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the expanse proclaims his handiwork. Day to day utters speech, and night to night shows knowledge. There is no speech nor language where their voice is not heard. Their line is gone out through all the earth, and their words to the end of the world. In them has he set a tabernacle for the sun, and he is as a bridegroom coming out of his chamber. He rejoices as a strong man to run a race. His going forth is from the end of the heavens, and his circuit unto the ends thereof, and there is nothing hidden from his heat. The law of Jehovah is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of Jehovah is sure, making wise the simple. The precepts of Jehovah are right, rejoicing the heart. The commandment of Jehovah is pure, enlightening the eyes. The fear of Jehovah is clean, enduring forever. The judgments of Jehovah are truth. They are righteous altogether. More to be desired than gold, and much fine gold, and sweeter than honey, and the dropping of the combs. Moreover, by them is thy servant warned. In keeping them there is great reward. Errors who can understand? Of hidden ones do thou acquit me. Also from presumptuous ones withhold thy servant. Let them not have dominion over me. Then shall I be upright, and be free from great transgression. Let the words of my mouth and meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, Jehovah, my rock and my redeemer. Psalm 20. To the chief musician, a psalm of David. Jehovah answer thee in the day of trouble. The name of the God of Jacob defend thee. Send thee help from the sanctuary, and strengthen thee from Zion. Remember all thy offerings, and accept thy burnt sacrifice. Grant thee according to thy heart, and fulfill all thy counsel. May we shout for joy in thy deliverance, and in the name of our God lift up a banner. Jehovah, fulfill all thy petitions. Now know I that Jehovah saves his anointed. He will answer him from his holy heavens with the saving strength of his right hand. Some in chariots, and some in horses. But we in the name of Jehovah our God will glory. They have bowed down and fallen, but we are risen and stand upright. Jehovah, save! Let the King answer us in the day we call. Psalm 21. To the chief musician, a psalm of David. Jehovah, in thy strength shall the king rejoice, and in thy salvation how greatly shall he exult. Thou hast given him his heart's desire, and hast not withholden the request of his lips. Pause. For thou dost anticipate him with blessings of goodness. Thou settest a crown of pure gold on his head. He asked of thee life, and thou gavest it to him, length of days forever and ever. Great is his glory in thy salvation. Honor and majesty thou dost lay upon him. For thou makest him a blessing forever. Thou dost gladden him with joy by thy countenance. For the king trusts in Jehovah, and through the kindness of the Most High he shall not be moved. Thy hand will find out all thy enemies. Thy right hand will find out those that hate thee. Thou wilt make them as a fiery furnace in the time of thine anger. Jehovah will swallow them up in his wrath, and fire will devour them. Their fruit thou wilt destroy from the earth, and their seed from the sons of men. For they spread out evil against thee. They devised a plot. They shall not prevail. For thou wilt make them turn their back. With thy bowstrings thou wilt aim against their face. Exalt thyself, Jehovah, in thy strength. We will sing and praise in song thy power. Psalm 22. To the chief musician, after the melody, Hind of the morning, a psalm of David. My God, why hast thou forsaken me? Far from my deliverance are the words of my groaning. My God, I cry in the daytime, and thou answerest not, and in the night season, and there is no quiet for me. But thou art holy, enthroned in the praises of Israel. In thee our fathers trusted. They trusted, and thou didst deliver them. To thee they cried, and were freed. In thee they trusted, and were not ashamed. But I am a worm, and not a man, a reproach of men, and despised of the people. All that see me mock at me. They thrust out the lip, they shake the head, saying, Commit it to Jehovah. He will deliver him. He will rescue him, for he delights in him. But thou art he that took me out of the womb, that made me trust when on my mother's breasts. On thee was I cast from the womb. From the bowels of my mother thou art my God. Be not far from me, for trouble is near, for there is no helper. Many bulls have encompassed me. Strong ones of Bashan have beset me round. They gaped upon me with their mouth, a ravening and roaring lion. I am poured out like water, and all my bones are parted. My heart is become like wax, melted in the midst of my bowels. My strength is dried up like a potsherd, and my tongue cleaves to my jaws. And thou wilt lay me in the dust of death. For dogs have encompassed me. The assembly of evildoers have enclosed me, piercing my hands and my feet. I may number all my bones. They look, they stare upon me. They part my garments among them, and for my vesture they cast lots. But thou, Jehovah, be not afar off. O my strength, hasten to my help. Rescue my soul from the sword, my life from the power of the dog. Save me from the lion's mouth, and answer and rescue me from the horns of wild oxen. I will declare thy name to my brethren. In the midst of the assembly will I praise thee. Ye that fear Jehovah, praise him. All ye seed of Jacob, glorify him. And fear him, all ye seed of Israel. For he has not despised, nor abhorred the affliction of the afflicted. And he has not hid his face from him. And when he cried to him, he heard. Of thee shall be my praise in the great congregation. My vows I will pay before them that fear him. The humble shall eat and shall be satisfied. They will praise Jehovah that seek him. May your heart live forever. All the ends of the earth shall remember and turn to Jehovah, and all the families of nations shall worship before thee. For the kingdom is Jehovah's, and he is ruler among the nations. They eat and worship, all the rich of the earth. Before him shall bow all that go down to the dust, and he that cannot keep his soul alive. A seed shall serve him. It shall be told of the Lord for generations. They shall come, and shall make known his righteousness to a people that shall be born, that he has done it.